Toastmaster. I am Toastmaster Anurag, the standing sergeant at arms for today, who welcomes you to the joint meeting of Calcutta Toastmasters Club and Virtual Masters Club. Can we have a huge round of applause? Before we begin the meeting, we shall first go through the Toastmasters promise. I would ask Toastmaster Krishnesh to kindly share the Toastmaster promise on the screen. Now, as a member of Toastmasters International and my club, I promise to attend club meetings regularly, to prepare all of my projects to the best of my ability, basing them on Toastmasters education program, to prepare for and fulfill meeting assignments, to provide fellow members with helpful and constructive evaluation, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow, to serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so, to treat my fellow members and our guests with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to club meetings so that they can see the benefits of Toastmasters membership offers, to adhere to the guidelines and rules of all Toastmasters educational and recognition programs, to act within Toastmasters' core value of integrity, respect, service, and excellence during the conduct of all Toastmasters meetings. Now, in any Toastmasters meeting, we follow certain rules in order to ensure that the meeting is carried on smoothly. The rules of which are as follows. Do not unmute yourself unless and until it is your turn to speak, and after speaking, mute yourself again. Do not write anything inappropriate in the chat box. If your video is on, make sure you sit in a proper upright position. Don't keep turning on and off your video when a speaker is delivering his or her speech. We do not talk of sex, religion, or politics in a derogatory manner. Please keep your phone in silent or switched off. Now, I would like to call someone on stage who takes 100% responsibilities for her actions. She's a woman of her words. Once she takes up a task, she finishes it with utmost sincerity and dedication. Even when she's sitting in Dubai right now, she is marching ahead with her responsibility as an area director of Q3 and also the president of our club. Please help me welcome with a huge round of thunderous applause, Toastmaster Seema.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anurag, stand-in sergeant at arms. Let the applause continue, please, because he is a very, very young and enthusiastic Toastmaster and who is a wordsmith in his own respect. Huge round of applause, please, for Toastmaster Anurag. Thank you so much. A warm welcome to the 31st chapter of Virtual Masters Club. Today it is very special because we are having a joint meeting with one of the oldest community clubs in Calcutta, Kolkata Toastmasters Club. A warm welcome to all the members of Kolkata Toastmasters Club and a warm welcome to all the dignitaries on the virtual podium today. Today I officially open the meeting, and while opening the meeting with just an applause because I do not have the gavel with me, but without a gavel, the pause is enough to bring out a message. Don't you all agree? A pause is something that I think we need to practice. We practice public speaking. We practice being good friends. We practice being good members of the family. But do we ever practice pause? I think with this idea in mind, that pause is something which will make sure that we do not say the wrong things at the wrong time. A pause will also make sure that we say the right things at the right time. So always pause to think. And today is a special meeting because we are going to pause and move on to have a very, very special Toastmaster in our meeting today. A gentleman who will come later on towards the meeting and will be properly introduced, but then I am in awe of this gentleman because He came into the limelight in this year, 2020, the year of the COVID, the year which is supposed to be the most disastrous year of all times. But this gentleman has come in 2020 for the very first time. He entered the finals, the semifinals, but this was his first time in the public speaking arena, although he's only been a Toastmaster for 3 years. You know who I'm talking about? Toastmaster Benjamin Wayo, who will be introduced properly in a very, very respectful way later on in the meeting. A warm welcome, Toastmaster Benjamin. Thank you so much for giving us your presence over here. And namaste. Namaste to you too. Okay, in any Toastmasters meeting, we always record our meetings, and that is dutifully done by the secretary of the club. The secretary of our club is Toastmaster Shilpa. Sorry, Toastmaster Shalu. I always get the names confused between Shilpa and Shalu, but Toastmaster Shalu, she is the secretary, and she makes it a point to record all our meetings and float the MOMs in the group. I'm sure all of you have seen the MOMs of the last meeting, and kindly give a thumbs up if you approve of it. All the members, please. Thank you. Well, any Toastmasters meeting is always in a very orderly form. We have a typical Toastmasters meeting with 2-3 sections, depending on the time and depending on the situation. So today's Toastmasters meeting is going to be conducted or hosted by an MC, or very well known as the Toastmaster of the day. Now, I have always great pride in introducing this gentleman, although it's not very often that I do so, but he is a very enthusiastic Toastmaster and pretty ancient in Toastmasters language, because he's been in the fraternity for quite some time. He is the Vice President Education of Virtual Masters Club and is doing a fantastic job in just making sure that we Toastmasters learn and earn ourselves the Toastmasters framework. He makes sure that all the meetings are conducted with great aplomb. So without further ado, please help me welcome the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Krishnesh Nayak. Krishnesh, the podium is yours.
Thank you, Madam President, Toastmaster Seema, for that wonderful opening statement, as well as encouraging all of us on the importance of taking a pause. And as for my introduction, anything you say about me, thank you very much. Friends, I hope our day continues to bring us more joy every passing minute. I welcome all the Toastmasters and guests in attendance. The contest season is picking up steam, and some have already got their podium finishing certificates. Personally, I am eager to get my certificate of appreciation for participation. Certificate. In contests, I improve every time I've been a contestant. Before I delve any further about contests and contestants, let me get a few formalities out of the way. Now, every Toastmasters meeting is divided into 3 sections. The first section is the prepared speech section. Today, we have one speaker who will be presenting a speech based on the objectives of the project he is attending. The next section is the table topic section. In this section, the audience will volunteer to come up to the stage and speak on a topic chosen by the table topic master, impromptu. We will not be having that section today. And the third section is the evaluation section. Here, a team of evaluators will give their suggestions on every speaker who took the virtual podium. The general evaluator will take us through the evaluation sections with her observation and ideas on how this meeting could have been done better. Now, being relevantly evaluated is vital to our growth and improvement. Our general evaluator for the evening is someone who loves winning in every aspect of life. Be it a speech she gives, be it an evaluation she gives, be it leading. In each of these aspects and many more, she ensures she does everything in her capacity to be a winner. So, contests are no different. She holds herself to high expectations and does her best every time she competes. With that, I call to screen DTM Archita Tiwari from Kolkata Toastmasters Club to introduce her role and her team members. Toastmaster Archita, Madam General Evaluator, the screen is all yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you, Krish, for that wonderful introduction. And yes, I completely agree and take responsibility for his statements. I am someone who's competitive, but at the same time, I love winning. And I have given a speech that says you have to fall before you fly. So I do understand the importance and the relevance of failing or falling down. And I know that it is important to sometimes fail to truly win, but that doesn't mean that falling down doesn't hurt. It does. Believe me when I say it, it really, really does. Failing tastes horrible. It's like the medicine that you truly need when you're sick before you get better. But even though you know and you understand how important that medicine is for you to get better and come up stronger, you know the medicine tastes horrible. And I think that sums it up for me. When contests come, I give my best in every contest, and that's most important for me. Every single time that I feel I have not given my best, that is when I feel I have not done justice to the contest. If I have given my best and then due to any external factor anything happens, I can live with it. And I mean this, I can live with whatever the consequences of any contest are, as long as I know that I have given my best and rest is not in my hand. Someone else could have been better that day, and that is absolutely true and possible. Something else may have gone wrong, and that's fine. I knew that as long as I know that this is the best that I could have done with respect to preparation, I'm fine. And that's how I've taught myself to live with contests, their results, their preparations, and everything. But if there's one thing that you truly will need in all the contests that you decide to take part, that is feedback. Of course, mentoring is first, but after mentoring, after your mentor giving you advices, the next thing that you need is small statements of feedback that will help you understand where you went wrong, where you can improve yourself, and most importantly, what is it that you're doing so brilliantly right now that you need to continue with it in future. And that's my job here as the Toastmaster of the day, as a general evaluator. I'm so sorry, I always keep saying Toastmaster of the day. As the general evaluator. Not that Krish is so, what do you call it? Charming that I can't get him out of my head. It's nothing like that. Do not overestimate yourself, Krish, please. But even though you would like to. But moving along, let me ask my team of role players who are here to help me generally evaluate you a little better. The first role player that I would like to invite on stage is someone who will tell us the importance and relevance of time. Can we please put our virtual applause together for Toastmaster Shilpa as the timer?
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Chitta. Good evening and good afternoon, Toastmasters, those who are in Dubai as well as in Kolkata. As a timer, I will be showing the timing cards as virtual background. I will show green card at the minimum time, yellow at the mean time, and red at the maximum time. I'll keep showing red until the speaker stops speaking. So please note the timing are as follows. For prepared speech, timing is 5 to 7 minutes with 30-second grace period on both sides. So I will show green card at 5 minutes, yellow at 6 minutes, and red at 7 minutes. For evaluation, the timing is 2 to 3 minutes with 30-second grace period only on the higher side. Thus, I will show green card at 2 minutes, yellow at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and red card at 3 minutes. At the end of the meeting, I will present my report when called upon to do so by the general evaluator. Over to you, Toastmaster Archita. Sorry, DTM Archita.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shilpa, for that wonderful elucidation of your role. And I just want to share one small line with respect to that role. I went to one of the meetings where I was asked and called upon to deliver a workshop with respect to international speech contest. And I began by saying, right in the beginning, do not worry about time when you're writing your speech. And everybody, I'm not making this up, virtually I could feel the stares piercing to the camera and killing me. And I said, please note the words right in the beginning. Timing is something that we focus when we are making the final changes to our speech. Initially, if you think of the time, you will not be able to put down all the ideas. So I don't think we need to explain to Toastmasters the importance of time, especially in the contest season. Let's go back to our next role player. That is someone who will help us remove all road blockages in our speech. That is our R counter, Toastmaster Vishal. The stage is all yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guest. I am Toastmaster Vishal, and today I'll be playing the role of an R counter. My role as an R counter is to pay close attention to the crutch words and filler sounds used by the speaker. Crutch words are like, basically, so, and filler sounds are, Whenever a speaker uses crutch words or filler sounds more than 4 times, I'll say used multiple times. And when used more than 2 times and less than 4 times, I'll say used couple of times. I'll request all the speakers to not use crutch words and filler sounds. I'll also keep a note of long pauses and inappropriate interjections. I'll present my report when called upon to do so by General Evaluator. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Vishal. That was very well explained. And now let's go on to the next role player, someone whose hairstyle is my favorite currently. And I think it beats the hairstyle of Virat Kohli as far as I am concerned, but he's tied it up, probably scared of some senior members in the meeting. But if you get an opportunity to see him in all his glorified hairstyle, please do have a look. With that, please welcome on stage our grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Deoshi.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. I am the grammarian for the day, and my job as the grammarian is to note down all the great usages of grammar and not so good usages of grammar. Along with being the grammarian, I am also the word master for the day. And the word of the day for today is amiable, which means having or displaying a friendly and pleasant manner. For example, distinguished Toastmaster Archita Tiwari has an amiable personality. So I'll give my report when called upon to do so by the Madam General Evaluator. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deoshi. This is what happens when you compliment the grammarian. The sentence of the day is a compliment to you, which is a secret technique to all those who want to learn and play future general evaluators. Note this down. Moving forward, let us go ahead with our next role player, which is an exclusive role that is, it's not followed in all clubs, but I think it's a beautiful role that Kolkata Toastmaster Club follows. It's called the wow counter. Now, this wow counter is someone who will note down all wow moments and tell you what made us go wow. So may I please request Toastmaster Rahul Nair to tell us more about wow counter.
So yes, am I audible?
Sorry, yes, you're audible.
Yeah. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and dear guest. I'm the wow counter for the day, and my job is to keep track of all the wow moments in this meeting. Wow moments are those which make us go wow, moments which leave us with impact or wondering or laughing. I know that this is a very special meeting, and from speakers like Toastmasters Rupesh and Toastmasters Benjamin, we'll have a profusion of wow moments. I will present the top 3 wow moments which made me go wow at the end of the meeting when called upon to do so by the General Evaluator. Thank you, and back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Rahul. That was very well explained. Really good example taken. I'm yet to hear Benjamin, but I can confirm for Toastmaster Rupesh, he's a wow person himself. So most of the things he says is wow. Next role player is a very interesting role, that is that of the parliamentarian. And the gentleman playing it is one of those people who's very, very worried, anxious, tensed all the time about his hairstyle and how his hair looks. If his video is on, please focus on how he will remake his hair 5 times in 1 minute. And to those of you who can count that, we will get back at the end of the meeting. With that, can we have Rahul Maheshwari on stage as the parliamentarian?
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator, and good evening to one and all present over here. My role as the parliamentarian is to ensure that all the parliamentarian norms are followed in the meeting such as not to use sex, religion, politics in a derogatory manner, showing a virtual thumbs up when the Toastmaster uses the word of the day, use the full form of all Toastmaster related terms like Toastmaster of the day, table topic master, mute yourself again after you're done speaking. Don't mute yourself until it's your turn to speak. Sorry, this had to be one before the other. Sorry. Don't write anything in the chat box when a speaker is delivering his or her speech. So let's ensure that we have an amiable meeting but within the parliamentary norms. I'll present my report when I'm called upon to do so. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Rahul. And with that, it's time for me to hand over the stage back to the very handsome, dynamic, and charming Toastmaster of the day. Krish is not looking for somebody else on the side. It is unfortunately or fortunately you, Krish. Can we please welcome you back on stage with a thunderous round of applause?
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator DTM Archita. It's always wonderful to hear compliments, and especially from a fierce competitor. The next lady on stage is another fierce competitor, and she has one common competitor in every contest she has taken part in: herself. She is a better version of herself after every contest because she competes only against herself. For her, contests are a measure of her growth and progress. She is the evaluator for our only speaker today. Let us hear what she has to say about the objectives of the level and project being attempted. I call on screen DTM Jennifer Ghosh to elaborate on the speaker's speech objectives.
Thank you so much, Krishnendu Nayak. Well, to the speaker, the purpose statement says that the purpose of this project is for the member to learn about and apply the skills needed to run a lessons learned during the meeting or a project or after its completion. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspects of his or her leadership experience and the impact of a lesson learned during the meeting. Timer, please note, the time is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you and all the very best to the speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Evaluator, DTM Jennifer Ghosh. Our first speaker is from Virtual Masters Club. Currently, he is based out of Dubai. The mentality he takes to every contest is to be different and separate himself from the other contestants. He has spoken eloquently in most, and at some, he has been at a loss of words. But always learns from every attempt at being a contestant. Let us have on screen our first speaker and only speaker for the evening in the prepared speech section, Toastmaster Rupesh Singh, My Life Project. My Life Project, Toastmaster Rupesh Singh.
How many of you agree with the phrase, practice makes the man perfect? Just show me your thumbs up. Almost everyone. All through, having a talent is gift. But I believe talent is nothing without a diligent practice and discipline. Even though I think that I am too talented person when it comes to the area of love or muhabbat. Because I think सांसों में उसकी खुशबू दिल में लिए तस्वीर मैं हवाओं में भी उसका अक्स ढूंढता हूं. That means I always carry her fragrance in my breath, an image in my heart. I always try to find her shadow even in the air. But when it comes to my work, being an IT guy, I'm not talented. But I am someone who will practice day and night till I attain the standard of industry leader in my field of work. I strongly believe that the phrase, practice makes the man perfect, has some prerequisites. And if you will not follow, you will become a perfect person, but from the lower end. My dear friend, what I mean to say, you need to always practice. And there are always a learning, and those learnings come from different sources. For example, it can come from a previous experience, success or failure. Thanks to my life and Mr. Jindgi for that. From the books, thanks to Dr. Harivansh Rai Bachchan, Dr. Munawar Rana, they are poet and writer. And third, from the mentors, thanks to DTM Naveen Misra, DTM Rohan Nag, and I can't forget Toastmaster Rohan Mitra for that. Believe me, all these 3 points are equally important, which will help you to achieve your aspirations. In this super dynamic modern world, if you are knowledgeable, it's perfectly fine. But you need to know how you're going to save all your knowledge in your favor. That is very crucial. Just the mood of a lady, which is very unpredictable, from happy to angry. In this whether his boyfriend is late or on time. Our professional world is also very unpredictable due to the various reasons. It could be because of the different stakeholders, because of the different geography, because of the scope creep, because of the ownership of this project, because of the change, and might be acceptability of this change. One fine day, a major project came in my way. As far as scope and volume was concerned, it was huge, but it should have been a cakewalk for me, based on my knowledge and exposure in this field. But even though I had knowledge and experience, the project execution was not as smooth as expected. So one fine day, the aspect of the project was done. I decided to sit with the entire team and have a lesson learned meeting, just in case we get a similar project again. So each person who was involved in this project was called to carry out the postmortem of this project. I arranged an open house meeting with all stakeholders to set the tone for a balanced conversation. We first discussed about their contribution, how their hard work and dedication made this project success. Even though we had a lot of hiccups and issues, but we always found a mitigation plan for the learning path. Based on our discussion, I also suggested teams to have a macro level discussion to get the input in a given template and time frame. Then we had an in-depth discussion just among with the teams. I set some questionnaire as well, which can be put anonymous to get the unbiased feedback. And some of the inputs were discussed and deliberated in the meeting itself. Post the discussion and deliberation, I came prepared with the minutes of meeting and shared with my management. 5 strategic points came out apart from the operational point, of course. 1, we ignored the cultural aspects at the planning stage. We should have strengthened the internal alignment because it's a tri-party agreement or tri-party program. There were frequent leadership changes from both ends. And some of the key assumptions at the planning stage also we missed. Last but not least, any guess from a previous experience currently whom we can blame easily and get rid of it? It is COVID-19. It also had a major impact for the smooth execution. I had a discussion with the board as well. An outcome of both the lesson learned project shared and uploaded a company repository for future use. For my company, the project learning exercise was over. But this time it forced me to think, isn't our life is a project? Can we manage our life as a project? Ladies and gentlemen, believe me, yes, you can. You can treat your life as a project, because here also you need to plan, you need to execute, you need to monitor, you need to do risk analysis each and every time, because it's a very, very, very important thing for maintaining the relationship. Believe me, if I talk about myself, it is my doctorate journey, either a running marathon journey, or playing guitar journey, or managing the relationship. I always have a priority defined for the things which I am undertaking. Life is not hunky-dory, ladies and gentlemen. And there will be variance time and again, but we need to use our knowledge to plan better. Always ask help whenever you need. Always give help to those who need. That will help you to plan better and execute better. Always try to achieve your goal. Learn from your past experience, either success or failure. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how I embedded my project learning and able to relate to the project of my life. And lastly, I can say, चलता रहूंगा पथ पर, चलता रहूंगा पथ पर, चलने में माहिर बन जाऊंगा. ये मंजिल मिलेगी या ना मिलेगी, but मैं एक अच्छा मुसाफिर बन जाऊंगा. What I mean to say, I will continue walking to the progressive path, and I'll become expertise on that. Either I'll achieve my goal or I'll become the experienced mentor. What do you think, Toastmaster of the day?
Wow, thank you. I totally agree with what you said, Toastmaster Rupesh. Thank you for that poetic, vibrant, and detailed project, your life. The importance of practice, being prepared, and paying attention to detail are some of my key takeaways from your speech. Thank you for that. Now that we are done with our prepared speech section and we do not have a table topics section, we move to the general evaluation section. Madam General Evaluator, I would request you to have the wow counter and parliamentarian come in a little later, including the R counter and the grammarian, just the timer and the speaker's evaluator in the current session. Would that work, ma'am?
I'm just confirming, Krish, that we will have the timer and the evaluators reports right now. That is our speech evaluation at the moment. Then we shall have the workshop followed by the grammarian, R counter and wow counters report. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, great.
Thank you. Thank you. So as a test speaker for an evaluation contest, a speaker may either learn from the plethora of suggestions to improve given by the various contestants, or as in my case, be thoroughly confused with the barrage of contrasting commendations and recommendations. This takes us to our next section, which is the general evaluation section, or more specifically, the evaluation for a particular speech. With that, I hand the stage over to Madam General Evaluator, Toastmaster DTM Archita Tiwari.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Krish. And with that, let me call on the evaluator of the speech. She's someone who is a wonderfully energized lady who inspires us all, including myself. And I've said this many times at different platforms, that distinguished Toastmaster Jennifer Ghosh is one of those people that can talk to anyone, everyone, and make them feel good about themselves, even in their darkest of times. And that's the one quality I have been trying to learn from her. You may be feeling low, you may be feeling nervous before a contest, and I'm telling you from personal experience. I may be feeling nervous right before a contest. She will come, she will speak to me for 2 minutes, don't worry, and she'll say it in a way that you will feel relaxed. I don't know how she does it. But she will make sure that you are relaxed, that you feel okay when you go up before, like when you go up on stage before the contest. And that is why it is always amazing to speak to her right before a contest. And once you come down from the stage, even if you're a little dissatisfied with how you've performed, how you've done the role as, you know, as a participant, she'll tell you that there's always a next time, or probably that you've done amazingly, but there will be something positive about the way she says anything. And that will make sure that after the contest, you feel okay. And after the results, she'll be there to applaud and cheer and, pardon me, but whistle for you if you win. And at the same time, she'll be there to hold your hand, give you a hug if you don't. So with that, allow me to welcome on stage the superwoman, the beautiful, the super passionate house of energy, distinguished Toastmaster Jennifer Ghosh.
Wow, that deserves a whistle. Wow, Rupesh, I can't tell you how excited I am to evaluate your speech today. What an intriguing and engaging speech, Rupesh. What I loved and what you excelled in was starting with a question. Practice makes a man perfect. You shared your journey with enthusiasm and passion. And you also were very informative about the entire project, as in you gave an example about Amitabh Bachchan. Then you said that it is very important to have knowledge, but at the same time you need to use it in the right way. So unless you don't use knowledge in the right way, it doesn't work. You touched upon how the project brainstorming was done at a micro level and also on a detailed level, and how easy it is to put the blame on COVID-19. And you gave another great suggestion as to plan better. So those were really great. I could relate to each and every point in your speech, loved it. The speech was well structured and delivered with a great delivery and very, very smooth, in my opinion. Now, what you could have done better or could have taken this speech to an exceptional level would have been what would you say is defines your leadership style? What are, like, if you take me, for example, I have a very soft leadership style. I'm empathetic, but at the same time, I can be direct if required. So what was your leadership style? I was not able to figure that out because it's part of your project objectives. And somehow you do have a style with humor, but this time in this speech, I missed a bit of humor in your speech. It was informative, but the humor part was a bit missing. I also believe that, sometimes too many Hindi quotes and translating can only elongate your speech. And in this type of a serious project, I don't think it was required at the beginning and again at the end. Maybe you could have just restricted it to one. How successful were you as a leader? I wanted to know. Can you attribute your success to the leadership style, which I did not get? So maybe if you had told us about that, it would have been like a message for me to take back that this is why I feel that this leadership style helped me to be successful. So overall, I would just say it was a great speech, very relatable. You had an opening which was wonderful with a quote, and then you have information, you had examples. And of course, if you could have just, I felt the structure was also great. If you could have just included what was your leadership style and how you could have brought in a little bit of humor, maybe because that's your forte, and how successful you were because of your leadership style, I think it would have been a wonderful speech. All in all, great. I loved evaluating you. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Jennifer Ghosh. See what I'm talking about? Hearing the evaluation makes us feel all positive and energized. So thank you so much, ma'am. With that, Toastmaster Rupesh, coming to you, Toastmaster Dr. Rupesh Singh. I always miss out that doctor part of it, and then I have to, be reminded of it. I absolutely loved your speech, and every single time that you deliver speech, there is so much of power in the speech. There is so much of energy at a different level, and this speech required it, which was my favorite part. I love the way that you started with the question, which made everybody think about your topic or your subject matter. I truly felt that the part where where you had to stress on words. I'll give you just one example. Always try to learn from past experiences. The right emphasis on the right word created the right impact. And that for me was very, very well done. I have one small and humble suggestion for you. You tend to use a lot of Hindi shairis which are beautifully spread across your speech. And the most wonderful part is that you translate them into English for someone who does not understand what the meaning of the shairi would be. When you're translating, take a pause, take a breath. Because in both the shairis that I noticed today, the last word of your Hindi shairi or the last few words get completely crumpled by, which in English means, so it's like you are rushing. Now, when that rush happens, the grace of the shairi, like in Hindi, if I would say the word of grace, that would be the nazakat of the shairi that is there in the last few words gets lost. So if just that you could complete the shairi, take a breath, let me translate that for you in English and go ahead. So just that one simple suggestion. You are a wonderful powerhouse of speaking from the heart. And I think you should continue to do that because you are an expert of the heart, like you already mentioned in your own speech. So loads of hearts and love to you from all of us here. With that, let me move on. Thank you, Dr. Rupesh, Toastmaster Dr. Rupesh. With that, let me move forward and call our timer for the day to give us the timing report.
Thank you, General Evaluator, ma'am. Timing for Dr. Rupesh is 7 minutes 20 seconds. For evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Jennifer Ghosh, 3 minutes 34 seconds. Over to you, General Evaluator, ma'am. TTM Archita.
Thank you so much. One quick question to Toastmaster of the day, if I may. Uh, should be my evaluation for the Sergeant at Arms, President, and Toastmaster yourself, that is, we do it in the end.
Yes.
All right. With that, let me hand the stage back to Toastmaster of the day for the next section, and I will be back with the other reports and my feedback on the meeting on the whole. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam General Evaluator and your team, Toastmaster Shilpa and distinguished Toastmaster Jennifer Ghosh, for your nazakat bhari evaluation and report. Thank you. That was my word of the day. Thank you. We now move to our much awaited vLearn session. These sessions have accomplished Toastmasters sharing their experiences and learnings. Today, we have someone who is a passionate and prolific speaker, a two-time West and Central African champion of public speaking, and finalist at the 2020 World Championship of Public Speaking. He has a firm belief in the power of words to change the world. He loves his family, children, speaking, connecting with people, and spreading the message of the power of finding our individual voices. He is also a veterinary surgeon and research scientist. He is married to Julia and a father of two lovely children and is a proud member of District 94 in Nigeria's capital city of Abuja. Let us have on stage Toastmaster Dr. Benjamin Wayo.
Now, namaste, Kolkata, namaste, Virtual Masters, Toastmasters Club. Thank you so much. It is indeed a great honor and privilege to be here. I hope I am audible. I'd like to confirm if I am audible to everybody. Can I get a thumbs up?
Yes, Dr. Benji, yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. If I do have any challenges with audio, please just inform me on time and maybe I'll do something. All right, so like I said earlier, it is a great privilege. This is the first time I have been to India, if not in movies. It's also the first time I've been to Dubai, if not from television and maybe Instagram and so on. So it is a great honor. I have also had the privilege of being influenced by so many people of Indian origin. I think in Nigeria, second to only the British and the Americans, Indians are probably the most influential over our culture, particularly in northern Nigeria, where I come from. We love the movies, we love the music, we know Amitabh Bachchan, I don't even know all of them, but we know everybody, trust me. And it's really, really great to be here today to share this time. I'm grateful to everyone that made this possible. So today we're going to just try and connect and find out or learn a few things about being a competitor, a Toastmaster contestant. And I, of course, will share my own personal experience and things that I have learned in my own journey. And I'm pretty unconventional in the way I talk and teach. So I'm sure you can follow me. I'm not very excited about using PowerPoints and stuff. I like using words, and I will start from that. Now, the first thing, I have just a few points, and I'm sure we can all remember them. And the points are, you could abbreviate them to mean ramp or ramped. R-A-M-P-D. R-A-M-P-D, ramped. That is the summary of everything I'm going to speak on today. And I know that you're going to be able to follow. So I'll start from the very first thing. What is it about a contestant? What's the most important thing that a contestant should be able to do? I'm sure there are loads of stuff, but in my own opinion, these are some of the foremost things that a contestant should have at the back of his mind that he should use to be able to prepare himself to be the best contestant he can be anytime that he's contesting. Now, the first one is having a respect and appreciation for speakers and for speaking. That's the R there. Respect and appreciation. Have a deep respect and appreciation for the art of speaking, of publicity, of public speaking, of communication, of being able to connect with people. I have a deep respect for any kind of person in any sphere that is able to communicate effectively. I apologize. I have a very enthusiastic dog in the background. I think some of you can hear. I'm sorry about that. Let me see if I can drown his noise a little bit. All right. Is this better? Okay. Okay. Thank you. So I have a deep appreciation for great speakers, for great communicators. It doesn't matter who they are. People that have been able to communicate and effectively with their audience, people that are able to connect with their people that are able to have strong influence over people that have been able to make you laugh, inspire you. I have a great respect for them. So it doesn't matter if we're talking about Winston Churchill, Mahatma Gandhi, Barack Obama. It doesn't matter who it is. Oh, sorry, I said Winston Churchill. I know some Indians don't like Winston Churchill. My apologies for that. Okay, that was a joke. But I hope it, yeah, okay, you're laughing. Thank you. In any case, I respect great speakers. I have a great respect for speakers, for communicators. I love comedians. Comedians, I think, are some of the most eloquent and most effective communicators. They know how to connect with human beings. And that deep respect allows me to learn more from them. I believe that great education is preceded by appreciation. Great education is preceded by sincere appreciation. The more you appreciate something, the easier it is for you to concentrate on that thing. And when you concentrate more, you're able to learn much more than you ordinarily would. So having a deep appreciation and respect for speakers, for presenters, for communicators, no matter where they are, even in the Toastmasters circle, I have learned so much from just having a great respect for the different speakers that have gone before me, the mentors that have gone before me, my former champions from my division, coincidentally, other speakers in the World Championship. I've listened to as many World Championship winning speeches as possible. There's some of them that I don't really like their style. I don't think I can work with them. I even probably think that someone else deserved to win. But despite all that, I have a sincere respect for what they do and how they do it. And in every lecture or symposium or workshop, I tend to mention champions one after the other because of that deep respect. I believe every contestant needs to have that deep respect and appreciation for great speakers. Now, it doesn't mean you have to agree with everybody or love everybody or like everything they're doing. But generally speaking, in and out of Toastmasters, having a great respect for and appreciation for speakers, for communicators, actually helps you to learn much better. Now, another reason I say this is that sometimes in Toastmasters, there are fads and there are styles that are common and people keep doing some things over and over again. It is someone that has a global outlook, or rather a more balanced outlook about speaking and communication that can bring in something fresh into Toastmaster circles, into the presentations, into their speeches, so that they can actually create a new fad, if you like, because they're not restricted just by what is common in Toastmasters. They are also able to hone in all the skills they can find anywhere and compete and speak on any stage and anywhere. So that is so important, because sometimes we can get caught up in doing things in a normal way, but being able to notice and understand and respect people that have done these great things in speaking, in public speaking, in communication, all around you, no matter where they are. They could be local people, they could be international. When you know that, when you see that and you respect that, you will learn from them and it will become a part of your craft. Now, this is something very, very important, because I believe in starting from the inside before going outside. I think that appreciation, of course, is something within and not without. And these attitudes, I think, help people learn more than anything else. So that even if someone doesn't give you a symposium, a lecture, a teaching, and so on, you are still able to learn a lot from individuals because you have a deep respect for what they are doing. Now, the next thing, of course, is A, and that is having the right attitude. Right attitude. Having the right attitude. Remember I said ramped, R-A-M-P-D. So our first is A, respect and appreciation. The second is attitude, having the right attitude. You need to have a right attitude towards the contest. And many of us, some of the speakers today have mentioned some of the things that are involved and some of their outlook, their attitude towards the contest. Like our general evaluator said, she said that no matter what happens, she just does her best. And when she does her best, she's okay. And that is a very, very good attitude. I have the attitude that I understand basically that Toastmasters contests are really subjective. And it's a fact, they are subjective. Why? Because human beings are subjective and human beings are not perfect. No matter how hard they try, they can actually make mistakes. Now, Toastmasters has a wonderful system, and we usually try as much as possible to reduce errors and to be as fair as possible, and that's the truth. And so you should appreciate that and not get focused on, oh, I don't like what the judges did. I don't think this judge deserves this. I don't think this judge did the right thing. Oh, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. Oh, this, oh, that. That is going to distract you from being the best that you can be. So you need to focus and understand that the fact is that this contest is subjective and people may get it wrong, but you can win anyway. Rich Hopkins says that. I love that. He has that quote. He says, win anyway. In other words, win on your own terms. Win no matter what happens, even if you don't get the trophy. Now, this is a semi-final trophy I was able to win, and it's plastic. It's not. I can't sell it. But so its value is not in itself per se, but in what it means. So the value is really in what it means, and what does the contest, what does the process mean to you? When you find that meaning, you have won anyway. And even if somebody doesn't give you a plastic trophy, doesn't recognize you all over the world, you have won on your own terms. This is not a cliche, this is a fact. Because there are over 30,000 contestants every year. And, you know, I've listened to Lance Miller talk about this, one of the world champions. He said the contest, they joke about it, they said the contest produced more losers than winners. Because there are over 30,000 contestants and there's only one world champion public speaking. Now, that's a joke, of course, but if you look at it critically, do you really want to see yourself as one of the 30,000 losers? No, I see myself as one of the 30,000 winners, because when I got into the contest, I gained something. I changed as an individual. I stretched as an individual. I joined Toastmasters with a background in speaking. I've been speaking for a very long time in religious circles and NGOs, on business, also as a research scientist. I speak a lot and I'm used to speaking. I'm not scared of speaking. But I've learned that in all those stages, I've been learning in all those stages. Now, when I joined Toastmasters, I thought that I know everything, or rather I know a lot about speaking. But when I joined, I realized that there were so many things about speaking I didn't know. so many errors I was making. So when I joined Toastmasters, I improved as a speaker. And then when I started competing, I improved astronomically. I have changed as a speaker. And many people that know me before know that. So the point I'm trying to make is that even if all you did was compete and get a certificate of appreciation or a certificate of participation, you have changed as a speaker. You have improved. So you have won. You are not a loser. You are a winner. You have to understand and accept that, because sometimes people make mistakes. Sometimes you're not ready. Sometimes things happen, but you can always win on your own terms. So you have to find that winning attitude within yourself. You can win anyway, no matter what. All right. So that's A. Now the next thing, excuse me, I'm having a challenge here. I'm sorry. So sorry about that. I was trying to stop a message from coming in. All right. So the next thing is your message. Your message. RAM, message. The R, of course, respect and appreciation. A for attitude. M for message. Your message. Your message is one of the most important things about your presentation, about your speeches, about your contest. Now, why is that? Now, your message is actually juice, it's power, it's motivation, it's passion. It is actually what brings out the best. In fact, it's like your mojo. What is your message? What are you trying to share with the people around you? Now, sometimes we get into a rut. We try to get messages or speeches that we think will appeal to our audience purely for the sake of appealing to our audience, because we're trying to get their attention, we want to make them laugh, we want to do something popular. That's okay. But if you are not able to find your personal message within these presentations, it actually takes away from the power, your power to be able to communicate effectively. Passion is infectious. People can feel your passion. People can feel your motivation and your enthusiasm about a particular topic, about a particular thing. So you need to be able to find that passion, that message in everything that you're presenting. It brings everything to focus. It actually allows you to focus better, to plan better, to prepare better, to find the right resources, and to connect with your audience better. It is one of those things that makes you jump over obstacles when you're having them one after the other. In the World Championship for Public Speaking, when I got to the semifinals, one of the things that helped me more than anything else was just focusing on my message. I had a message to share with the world. I knew that it was an opportunity for me to share with everyone what I had learned as a person and what was contained in my speech. Now, I had all kinds of problems. Technology, for instance, majorly. My sound was horrible. I think my internet was actually the worst from all the other contestants present there. It was such a huge challenge. We did all kinds of stuff. We were trying to get, oh my goodness, it was discouraging. I was concerned about losing even before starting the contest, even before presenting, because of how horrible things were going. The stage, the lighting, the sound, and it was something I'm not used to. I just go on stage and I speak. That's what I do. I don't do technical stuff, and I found that so challenging. Of course, I got a lot of help from my division, from my district, but it was still a challenging process. But what made me pull through was just focusing on my message. I just focused on my message. I felt everybody needs to hear this. Now, my semifinal speech is one of my favorite speeches of all time. I was holding two balloons. Why do some balloons fly and others fall? I knew people needed to hear that message. And so no matter how horrible it was going to be, they were going to hear that message. Even if this internet was screeching a little bit, they were going to have to hear that message one way or the other. And I qualified. I mean, I got all the way to the final. I qualified alongside with the eventual winner, my car. Yes, we both qualified from the same group. And I like joking about this. There's a tiny, teeny possibility that I beat my car. in the semifinals. So I'm like a de facto world champion in some sorts. It's possible. It's possible. So, but the point is that I was able to overcome those challenges because I focus on my message. Focus on your message. It brings the best out of you. It makes you succeed better. It makes you do better, and then it makes you feel better about what you're doing. The next thing is preparation. P, preparation. Preparation is so powerful. You can't underestimate it. Our speaker spoke a little bit about preparation. Practice. You have to prepare as ardently and as focused as possible. It is within the scope of preparation that we have feedback, that you have presentation and feedback. Many of you need to start preparing as early as possible in different clubs, listening to different people so that you can get as much feedback as possible. So don't shy away from that. Let your message go out and let people critique it. Get the feedback that you need. And don't be intimidated by feedback. Take it in and just work with whatever you can and then leave what does not work for you. I do not allow myself to be bogged down by feedback. No matter how negative someone is, I can just take what I think is necessary and leave everything else. So work and prepare. Work as hard as possible. Start early. If you can get the help of your mentor, your coach very early, start working as early as possible. The more you prepare, the better it is for you. Understand your stage, understand your audience, understand the virtual background, which is something that we're working with right now. Understand all those things. Don't make excuses. Prepare. Ask questions. Preparation is so powerful. In my district contest last year, where I won, I got up early. Okay, before I was up after the proceedings of the day. We're going to have the contest the following day. I went to the stage to try to rehearse around 1 a.m. and I thought I was going to meet contestants struggling there, and there was nobody there. When I saw that, I said, "Whoa! I think I'm going to win this contest." Because no, you can't out prepare me and beat me. I didn't think so. I didn't think it was possible. Now, I got that done later on about 4 a.m. or so. I was back there and there was still nobody. And I was like, oh, I've got this. Then in the middle of it, someone showed up. I said, oh my God, I have competition. Because great speakers prepare as much as possible. You need to prepare. So work on your preparation. There are some times that we have people in contests that showed up and it looked as if they were just, spontaneous and they were able to win. That's not the truth. Some of the greatest spontaneous speakers have loads of preparation behind them. So even contestants that got into the world championships for the first time and won, maybe in the finals for the first time. There are several contestants that have gone to the finals and won for the first time. They are prepared. And they also have a background of preparation, maybe in television or in speaking, in court, and so on and so forth. So prepare. Finally, do it again. D, RAMPD. D is do it again. You should have it in you to come back again and do all over everything that you started doing. Because sometimes the things that you're doing will not work and you may get discouraged and it may not turn out right, but you need to find it in yourself to do it again. I have a quote, I have a motto: do not accept defeat for what you can repeat. Do not accept defeat for what can repeat. Always make up your mind to go back and do it again. Do not accept defeat for what you can repeat. Repeat the cycle, repeat the preparation. I got to the district. I wanted to go all the way to the semifinals and finals last year, 2019, and I didn't qualify. But I found, and I was exhausted. I was tired. I was strained, but I found it in myself to compete all over again. And this time I got to the finals. And I'm willing to do it again, not just yet anyway, but I'm willing to do that again. But in any case, find it in you to do it again. Do it again, and you are going to get better every time. Thank you very much. I would like to stop there and maybe take the questions from here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Benjamin, for that wonderful experience that you decided to share with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And for those in the audience, when I said his priorities and when family came in the beginning, I was trying to get this done on a Sunday, and he said, Sunday is for my family. And that's why we had to have this on Saturday. And that's Dr. Benjamin for all of you. So questions, the floor is open. Please share your questions and Dr. Benjamin will address them. Great. How about I go first? Dr. Benjamin. For me, in fact, the first time I met Dr. Benjamin, I asked the same question to the other dignitary there. Same question goes to you. When I'm practicing my message for the speech, it's something that I feel very closely. It's very close to my heart. But the more I practice, the more mechanical it becomes. I know that when I'm talking about an emotion, my voice will break at some point. But when I do it 20, 30 times, how do I reflect? How can I make my voice break again the 30th time when I'm on stage? How do I prepare?
All right, that is tricky. And I will use Aaron Beverly's counsel. Aaron Beverly said, acting is not bad. He said, acting is not bad. He said, it's bad acting that is bad. In Toastmasters, for speeches, you probably have to do some acting. Yes, I accept that. And it's really doing it badly that is the problem. So first of all, I'd like to say that it is good you learn how to act. And the thing about acting is that what makes acting powerful is when you are able to connect with the emotions that you have concerning what you're speaking about and express them. So it is acting, I accept, but you can do it well. Now, on another side, there is a portion of rehearsing that does not have to do with acting, and that's just getting your lines right. Getting your lines right is like a memorization technique. Now, if you can learn how to memorize a speech accurately, you don't need to focus on the emotions that are involved in the speech apart from focusing on the words that are on the speech. So when you get that right, it is not every time that you're rehearsing that you're now going to express those emotions. So those emotions can become fresh in the few times when you are going to present them. So, but I really can't see a way that you would run away from doing a little bit of acting. But the beautiful thing about connecting and being able to act is this, that no matter how many times you do something, if you can actually picture it properly, if you can think about the emotion well enough, you can actually connect with that emotion. That is why one movie watched several times over again can still make us cry. That is why a comedian can go on using the same routine over and over again and would still laugh. In fact, we're like, oh, do the joke about the cow, and ask them, and they would do it all over again. I would still laugh all over again because there's something about doing it right. Now, why I say this is that you need to think not just about yourself. Don't be selfish. Now you think, oh, I need to be fresh with my emotions. Oh, I need to just do it, spontaneously so that it's real. But think about your audience also. Think about how they can be affected by that emotion if you can get it every time and express it properly, even if you're acting. So yes, I agree that it may be difficult, but it is possible. So think about your audience and you can give them an experience that they can have anytime and remember anytime, any day. So that's my advice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question, Dr. Benjamin.
All right. Thank you.
I just wanted to know, you have said that practice, 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 and there's nothing other than that. So while you were at the finals this time, was there any moment while you were speaking, you felt that you did not go according to your practice? Because anything can happen, right? So did you ever feel that? And if you felt that, how did you cope with that circumstance, that it's not according to your practice?
Oh, that happened a lot. I am not exactly someone that is very good at delivering a speech exactly the same way every time. My mind gets ideas sometimes and I do things differently and sometimes they work wrong. So it's something I think I should work on, but at the same time, it's something that also makes me fresh. So I did make mistakes in my speeches, but the beautiful thing about speeches is that if you deliver it right, or rather, if you focus on your message, people don't remember what you did wrong. They only remember really what you did right. So you are the one that is conscious of, okay, you did this wrong, you didn't get this right, and so on. But overall, people are going to focus on what you were able to do right more often than what you did wrong, unless, of course, you did make some huge mistake. And sometimes even a huge mistake can appear like a prop. You know, I joke about this sometimes. I say you could be in the middle of a speech and you fall down. And when you fall down, you could say, and every time we fall down, we will get up because we can. So you can do anything. But the point is this: despite having those problems, I just focus on message. I focus on the heart of my message. I focus on winning the hearts of my audience. And when I do that, I still get my enthusiasm back. I still am able to focus, and I'm still able to finish my speech. So despite, no matter how many times you practice, you will slip up one time or the other. You will make one mistake or the other, but just focus on what you're doing. Focus on your message. Focus on the fact that you've done more right than you've done wrong. And I think you'll sail through every time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Benjamin. Thank you, Madam President Seema, for that question. So I think I'll hand it back to our general evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Archita
Sorry,
Tiwari.
can I have a last word before?
Absolutely,
Yes, yes.
please.
Awesome. So I'd like to say to every contestant out there, you are great the way you are. There's an original voice you have. There's an original experience you have that is different from anything anyone has done. And you deserve to be heard. So use that and come out and compete. Even if people don't hear you all around the world, people will be influenced by that message wherever it is you are. And it will change you and everyone else around you. So go for it. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Wonderful. That's a wonderful way to sum it all up. Especially, you know, that is how sometimes I tell a few of my friends who are looking for what do I speak about. I tell them, if you had 30 seconds for the whole world to hear a message from you, what would that message be? So that is how I suggest people to choose. But there's always something fun that comes up in my mind. So my speeches are not that good. Madam General Evaluator, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you, Benjamin, for that beautiful workshop. I think it had so much to connect with. I've participated in a couple of contests at our level and not at the World Championship yet. But I really think that it had so much to teach us. And thank you. I'm really glad that you liked the attitude that I've been able to develop. And trust me, came with some really bitter failures. Some of the senior members are here, some of my mentors are here, including Jenny ma'am and Satyadeep Da, and they've seen me when I failed in the initial years. I have been a mess that they've handled, and I will give them complete and due credit for the same. And after failing for those times, that is when that attitude of being able to get back up again developed in me. So thank you so much for reiterating that. Thank you so much for teaching us so many beautiful things, like you are competing because you have a voice and every voice is different. So it makes us feel valued. I felt very valued. So can we have a real big round of applause by unmuting ourselves for Toastmaster Benjamin? Everyone, please unmute yourselves. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you, Benjamin. With that, let me go forward with the proceedings of the meeting. I would now like to request our counter for the day, Toastmaster Vishal, to please present us with his report.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Toastmaster Seema uses so couple of times. DTM Archita uses multiple times, well, one times, so couple of times, and couple of times. Toastmaster Rupesh used and couple of times. DTM Jennifer used so couple of times. And Toastmaster Benjamin used a couple of times, so multiple times, and couple of times. And Toastmaster Krish used so one time and couple of times, and all the other speakers were flawless. Thank you. And over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Vishal, for that brief and wonderful report. Let us now go to our amiable grammarian of the day, who's put my, I'm sorry about using the word wrong, am I? Because you're supposed to have an amiable personality, but not always. So sometimes the not always part comes in a little too forward. Please allow me to welcome you on stage and request you to give us our report.
Very good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests once again. So some of the great uses of grammar throughout the meetings were learn and earn, profusion of moments, spoken elegantly, life is not hunky dory, be thoroughly confused with barrage of recommendation and commentations. Some of the not so good usages of grammar was on every speaker who took the podium would be on every speaker who takes the podium on that situation when the speaker was speaking. 30 seconds would be 30 seconds. My dear friend would be my dear friends when it was in that situation. Which can be put would be which could be put in that situation. From both the end, from the both the end would be from both the end. Isn't our life is a project would be isn't our life a project. Thank you. Back to you, General David.
Thank you so much, Deoshi. And to all the others who are wondering if Deoshi is angry or the others, this is our banter and that keeps going. I see some worried expressions. Please do not worry. I don't think he is offended at all. And neither are the others. They keep teasing me. I keep teasing them. It's a two-way street for all of us. With that, let me... No, Rahul disagrees. Rahul will talk offline. With that, let us go to our next role player, that is the wow counter for the evening. Can I request our wow counter to please present his report? Rahul again.
Yeah, so basically I took one page to jot down the wow moments, but I have to pull two extra pages to jot down the wow moments. And it was quite difficult for me to filter the top three wow moments because there were so many. Okay, so the top wow moment was the use of the acronym RAM and the code that do not accept defeat for what you repeat, ingraining the importance of preparation into us. And Toastmaster Rupesh Singh, the Shire, the guitarist, the marathon runner, um, the comparison of the dynamics of the professional world to the mood of the woman, which is unpredictable, it was harmlessly humorous. And the last Shairi, which was really motivational, which says that we should persevere in our endeavor without worrying about the result. So these three were the top wow moments, according to me. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Rahul. I think you really would have had a tough time because I was wowed so many times that I completely agree with you and believe, except for the point that Dr. Rupesh also said that women have so many unbelievable mood swings. If you don't know about mood swings of men, you haven't met the right ones. And I'm sure that Seema ma'am will be able to agree with me. We still have to write more about men mood swings because that is MMS if you are getting the reference. With that, let's go forward with our next role player and the final role player for today's afternoon or evening, our parliamentarian, again, Rahul.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. It was such a great honor to be a part of the meeting that was amiable as well as in all the parliamentary norms were followed. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Rahul. Short and crisp. And with that, allow me to now go ahead and evaluate the meeting as a whole. I'll start with our Sergeant at Arms, that is Toastmaster Anurag. I think Anurag has a wonderful smile and he begins every meeting so energetically and with such great enthusiasm. And he will come on stage, make sure that everything is set on his laptop or on his phone, wherever it is, go back, stand, take all that effort. And that effort to me is special. It's very easy for us because we are in a digital space. It's very easy to sit and deliver our role, but the fact that Anurag takes that entire trouble of going back and using his hands and gestures, I think that is special. And for that, thank you, Anurag. You truly wow us every single time that you play this role, and you put in a lot of effort into the role as a whole. So job very well done, great energy, rules read out perfectly. You put the entire mood in order and you introduced the president wonderfully, I think, with some theme incorporated in your introduction. So great job done, keep it up. Next is our president. Rahul is finding something very funny. I think that's an inside joke between the president and him. Okay, we'll get back to it. Next is our president, that is Toastmaster Seema, a wonderful voice that I like to hear every single time when she speaks. And it is very nice to see you, Seema ma'am, delivering all these speeches and all these presidential addresses, because you welcome everyone very warmly, something that I have always said time and again. The welcome of a president is of extreme importance, and the fact that you do it so gracefully is what makes it so special. So thank you so much for welcoming Kolkata Toastmasters Club as the co-joint meeting. Thank you for attending to all the guests so well. And then, of course, the introduction of the Toastmaster, which you did not miss and did brilliantly. So nothing to add for you. Job very well done. Thank you so much. Now we come to the Toastmaster of the day. Our wonderful, contestant, like I would like to call him for today. He took us into the world of contests and what everyone was feeling and the emotion behind it. Krish, I think you're one of those people who takes everything very seriously, but at the same time, you have the ability to add a touch of fun to it. I don't know how you do it, but that's exactly what you do. You made sure that you had all introductions on point. You made sure that everyone was completely informed about everything, the entire flow of the meeting. You're meticulous at what you do as your role of the anchor of the day. And in spite of doing everything so meticulously, so seriously, yet you're able to bring a very fun flavor on stage, which is wonderful to watch. So your role with respect to everything that needed to be done was done. If I'd have to say one small suggestion from my end for you, I think that small suggestion would be sometimes you really underplay yourself on stage. I know that's your way of trying to get humor, but I really think you should give yourself more credit, because there are so many things that you say that other people here disagree with. For example, one line today that I did not agree with was, I don't give great speeches because I probably think of something funny in 30 seconds. If you ask anyone to think of something in 30 seconds, most people will think unparliamentary things. But I don't think that could be the reason why you wouldn't give great speeches. I love all your speeches and I think they are absolutely fabulous. And to prove it to you, anyone who thinks Krish gives great speeches can show me a thumbs up, virtual thumbs up. Yes, look at your screen. So I don't think you should be saying that statement at all. Yes, so many of us feel the same way. So it's good to have humor on yourself. I do it all the time. But statements like these probably could not be done. So we can avoid that. With that, thank you so much, everyone. And it was wonderful evaluating all of you. And it's been an absolute pleasure being here at the joint meeting of VMC and Kolkata Toastmasters Club. Allow me now to hand the stage back to this dashing gentleman. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Krish.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator, Toastmaster Archita Tiwari. Wow. Okay. So one sentence goes off my list. I'll have to figure out other ways to demean myself. That being said, Madam President, Toastmaster Seema, the closing stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Krishnesh, for such a wonderful session that you have conducted today. And I especially want, he never takes the credit for himself, rightly said DTM Archita. So I am going to give him the credit because he has made today's vLearning session really, I think worth remembering by bringing in Dr. Benjamin Wayo to this meeting today. We have learned a lot from you, sir. And I would like to thank you so much because, like you said, even I'm not a big fan of PPTs or any of these technical stuff because I don't understand them. I prefer words like how you have said, and your words, each and every one has struck a chord in all of us. And I wish to welcome you again to our meetings anytime. I know it is difficult probably because you're in Nigeria. And just to let you know on a personal thing, I was born in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam. I left there decades ago, and I'm hoping that one time that I might return there, I'll surely come over to your part of the world too. Also, if the polling is on, Krishnesh, then I would like to take in all the, what can I say, I've got to do all the rituals, which I thought I would save for the end of the meeting. I would like to ask the guests over here, if they are non-Toastmasters, to kindly give in their feedback on the meeting, please. I can see Abhijit, Anushri, Nitin, are they all Toastmasters?
Yes, I am a Toastmaster.
Hello.
Yes, Abhijit?
Yeah, it's Abhijit.
Are you a guest, sir?
I'm a Toastmaster.
Okay.
No, I'm a Toastmaster from Jaipur Toastmaster Club, and I just
great.
recently joined Toastmasters.
Okay.
And
How did you
DTM
enjoy the session today?
Yeah, it's been a great session. I was contacted DTM Rohan Nag, and I have attended one of his sessions, and he recommended to attend today's session, and it was brilliant and brilliant learning experience for me, and I will apply all this lessons experience in my upcoming speeches. Thank you.
That's really good. Thank you for joining us today. And Anushri, would you like to say something, please?
Yeah, hi, good evening all. I got the invitation from my amiable friend, Dr. Rupesh Kumar, who is recently in Dubai, and we are in a Dubai Bollywood Toastmaster Club. And I'm really grateful to hear Benjamin. So it's nice to hear all these techniques and all the other things. But I have a problem with that Archita. I met her in some the joint Toastmaster this thing, because in the beginning only she scared me a lot, because here I'm too fascinated about my hairs too, and she gave me that too much problem, so I didn't open my camera, though I was decked up for this meeting, but she said, okay, here you have a too much competition. So I thought, okay, let me switch off my camera and just see Devashish and the other one. Yes, so you people guys are having so much good hair. So I think I should turn off my camera, giving me a too much competition. Thank you so much. It's a nice time here.
Benjamin, she is not speaking about you.
Thank you for turning on your camera at least now, Anushri, because you've got a glorious mane of hair. You shouldn't have hidden that from us at all. Please do join us next time with you in full view as always. Sure. Thank you so much for joining in. I would also like to appreciate the presence of our district finance manager, Toastmaster Gaurav Agarwal, whom I in fact persuaded to try and attend our meeting today, but then he had some other issues. However, he has made time. Thank you so much, Gaurav. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of DTM Satyadeep Basu, who is our past division director. Sir, if you're here, can you please give some feedback on the meeting today, please? Okay, I guess he must have attended the session and moved on. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of our evaluator today, whom many of you might not know or know. She is our immediate past district director. And as always, she is so amiable that everybody would just love to have her in any meeting. So thank you so much, Jenny ma'am, for joining in today. Would you like to say a few words, ma'am, to Dr. Benjamin?
Hi, Benjamin. How are you? Hello.
Okay.
Fine, thank you. Fine, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, your workshop was really a delight. Thank you so very much for coming and giving us such a doable workshop. I think everyone has found it pretty simple and doable. And I think we are all going back with a lot of stuff that will help each one of us to do better in our journey of public speaking, so to say. So thank you so very much. And keep joining us every now and again. We would love to have you with us. We'd love to host you. God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jenny ma'am. And last but not the least, very good news. All you role players and speaker, we have only one speaker and evaluator. All of you are winners today. I think our TMOD Krishnesh decided that he would follow Benjamin's thing. You know, words are very important. So he didn't want the polling thing to come up. He decided everybody is a winner, and very true. All our winners, we all enjoyed the session today, and I would like to thank each and every one of you for joining in. Another announcement is that we have a meeting tomorrow, Virtual Masters Club. Which is going to be a special meeting again tomorrow. So kindly do join in. if you can. Well, apart from that, I think I can end the meeting officially. And we could also, ma'am?
No, I said thank you.
Okay.
We have one coming up now at 6 o'clock.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, and God bless everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.